Do you feel the vibes?
Okay, so in section 2, we're going to talk about systems of inequalities. So this time they're going to be inequalities, not equations. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to graph and shade each of the inequalities separately. And then if there is a region that overlaps, that's going to be the solution region, right? So take a look at this one. We've seen like this one before, right? But now we just have two on top of each other. So first I'm going to graph this one. Y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 5. So that has a y-intercept here. And then I go down 2 over 1. Okay. And is this going to be a solid or a dashed line? Solid, because it's less than or equal to. And that's how it looks. Now, because it's less than, I get to shade below right here. Okay. All right, next I'm going to graph this one. Y is greater than negative 1 over 4x minus 6. So I go down to negative 6, and then I'm going to go down 1 over 4. Is this going to be solid or dashed? Dashed. Okay. And I'm going to shade, because it's greater than, I'm going to shade above, right? I shade above right here. And so you see, right, when you shade above, you see that there is a region right here that the two shadings overlap. That region is your solution to this problem.
Can you erase the bottom half of the shading?
So the solution is this region here.
How are we going to mark that when we don't know?
I'll tell you right now. So students sometimes will do, like I did, right? You could do like horizontal and vertical for the different ones, and then, kind of like go darker where you shade. But I'm also going to show you right now how to put little guidelines so you can just like shade the actual region if you also want, okay? But, you could just go darker and so on. Okay, so now let's do this one. Y is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus 8. So 8, go down 4, over 1. Okay. 2, 3, 4 over 1. All right, so this is going to be solid. Now, don't shade this one yet. Okay. What part are we going to shade here? Huh? Actually, I'm going to go through the above, right? So here. Right? And then for the other one, it's negative 4x plus 4. So I go up to 4, down 4 over 1. And this time it's going to be dashed. And now I'm going to shade below. All right. So is there a region where they overlap? There is not. So this is no solution. Now, to say that it's no solution, you have to show me all of these shadings, right? You have to shade above, you have to shade below, you have to show that there is nothing in the middle, and then say no solution on the answer line or whatever, okay? All right, take a look at this one. Now I have y is greater than or equal to x, okay? So y is greater than or equal to x, okay. So here we have an absolute value, that's going to look like this. Okay? Greater than or equal to, where am I going to shade? Above. So look at what I do. I'm not going to actually shade this time. I'm just going to put little guiding arrows for myself. Okay? So because again, I have one shade and I'm, trying to, not waste time. Okay, then y is less than 2x minus 6. So minus 6 is here, up 2 over 1.
Dotted.
Right. Okay, so that's where they dotted. That's where they cross. Okay? Where am I going to shade this one? Below. Right? This one goes below. Is that right?
Oh,
So where is the part that they overlap? Just that tiny little strip there. So I can just shade this one. That's the only overlapping part.
for the final shading, you can't use the guiders. Like the
Huh?
arrows. Like, you know how you use the arrows? Like for the final one, we shouldn't use arrows. We should actually shade. Like
Yes. Your answer has to be shaded, right? Your answer has to be shaded, and then you, again, with the arrows, you can get away with not shading everywhere. You're just shading the region that you need it to be shaded. Okay, so here we go. Negative y is less than negative x minus 4 squared plus 7. So I go up to 7. And then, so, I'm sorry, over 4 up 7, right? Over 4 up 7. So now if I go over 1, I go down 1. If I go over 2, I go down 4. And so it's going to be a dashed parabola. And I'm going to shade below, which is here. Right? Now for the next one, it's an absolute value. So I go over 3, down 4, up 1, over 1, solid. I'm going to shade above, correct? So the region that is going to overlap is this one here. Okay? Sounds good? All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and graph this. Again, it's going to be the same exact thing. Why don't we graph the very last one that we did? All right? The parabola and the absolute value. So again, right, there could be like any variation, right? It could be the parabola and a line. It could be an absolute value and a line. It could be any combination. Okay, so we're going to press the calculator button twice. Go to this screen. So if you don't have the F1, remember you can press tab. Press the left arrow button one time, and we're going to pick this. So now we have negative x minus 4 squared plus 7, enter, right? You see that? And then go to the tab button. And you can do, okay, so it's already in relation mode. So take a look at what you can do. Press Y at the very bottom where the X is. Now, the inequality buttons are right under the control. So you're going to press control, and immediately underneath there is an equal sign. Press that and you see all of your inequality buttons. We're going to choose the greater than or equal to. You guys remember where the absolute value was? Where's the absolute value button? The emoji button, which is right next to the what? What number? 9. So here we go. We pick the absolute value, and then you get x minus 3. Outside of it, minus 4. Enter. There you have it. Okay? And now, we can't see above, right? So what we're going to do, hang on. Look at what I'm going to show you. Press menu. This is an important thing as well. Press, you know what? There's actually a couple of things you can do. Okay, press menu. Go to Windows Zoom. That's number 4. The first one is Windows Settings. And I want to see, up higher, right? So my Y max, right? We're going to go to Y max. The easiest way to go to Y max is pressing tab a couple times. Y max. Why don't we make that a 10? Enter. Now you can see that. Okay? And again, you can change the location of these texts. All right? Okay, so in this next one, we're going to create a triangle, and we want to first find the solution of the system, meaning the shaded region. And then we're going to find the vertices of the triangle formed. So we're going to solve each of these for y, right? So this first one, when I solve it for y, it'll be negative y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. So y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. So now let's go up to 1, up to over 1, right? This is going to be a solid line, right? Okay, now I'm going to shade underneath this because it's below. So I put my little guide arrows. Okay, next, let's go to this one. When I solve this one for y, I get y is less than or equal to negative x plus 4. Where is that? Here, down 1 over 1, right? So that's how that looks. We're going to shade where? Underneath. Okay, so far, do you see the overlapping region is right here at the bottom, right? Okay, now lastly, for the last one, 4y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 4. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1 over 4x plus 1. So I go up 1, down 1 over 4. Here. And here, where are we going to, what happened here? Where are we going to shade? Above, right? So what's the region that gets shaded? That tiny little triangle inside. Okay? So again, this is a good way, if you're using your arrows, it's a good way to just not get the whole thing cluttered and messy, and right? You could just like totally have a clean working area, and then it's very easy for everybody to see where you're shading. Okay, so the solutions, I was off by a little bit here. This is one arrow. This is one point. Here is another point, and here is another point where they match. This is why I should have used a ruler. So where are the vertices here? We have one at 1, 3. We have one at 4, 0. And we have one at 0, 1. All right? So there's A and B here. A is the solution of the system, which we shaded. And then the answer to part B is the vertices. Okay? All right. Any questions? Okay, lastly, let's write a system of equations for the graph below, right? So we're gonna, actually it's a system of inequalities, not equations. All right, so let's do, what do you guys wanna do? Let's do the absolute value first, okay? So what is the vertex of the absolute value? 0, -5. So y is I'm sorry, is it less than or greater than? Less than, is it less than or equal to? Less than or equal to, because it's solid. Less than or equal to, okay, so what's the slope here? Up 2 over 1. So 2 absolute value of x minus 5. Is that right? Does that show the right situation there? All right. Okay. The next one, it's a parabola. So we have to show our work, right? We have to do it using the equation. So what is the equation? Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Okay. H and k is 6, 0. And then what's a point we can use here? Oh, 7, 0. And I can actually, oh my God, it's actually 0, 7. Oh boy, that was way off, like it was in another country. So what about this one? Let's use this one, 2, 3. That's a good point. Okay, so 3 equals a 2 minus 0 squared plus 7. So 3 equals 4a plus 7. Negative 4 equals 4a, and a is negative 1. So y, what's the inequality symbol going to be? Less than negative x squared minus plus 7. Okay? And that's it. Those are the two equations or inequalities that will give you this graph. Right? Yes.
Press start.